Hi everyone, and welcome to this wonderful Tibetan Buddhist Society's Peaceful Land of Joy this afternoon. And what a beautiful summer day it is in autumn to be starting this section of the Sunday afternoon Path to Enlightenment course. My name is Pam and I am a long-term student of Geshe Acharya Thubten Loden, the spiritual head of the Tibetan Buddhist Society and this amazing traditional Buddhist temple and the beautiful surrounding gardens. This ongoing Buddhist course follows Geshe's marvellous text, which I have here, The Path to Enlightenment. It is impossible to express how fortunate we are to have such a text and Geshe's other texts to lead us along this path. In welcoming you to this six-session course, I would like to begin by acknowledging the Wurundjeri Wurrung people, which includes the Gunung Willem Balak clan as the traditional custodians of this land. I pay my respect to their elders, past and present, and I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples with us today. So let's start this session as we would usually commence with the beautiful general prayers. We'll start on page 19 of your prayer book, and I'm just looking to see if everyone has a prayer book. And we have, oh, it's on the screen. Thank you. So we're going to start on page 19, Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, and we're going to do that one in English. Teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata, Arhat, perfectly pure and complete Buddha, all-knowing, having poise, Sugata, apprehender of the world, navigator of beings to be subdued, incomparable, teacher of gods and humans, to the Buddha, the Bhagavan, the glorious conqueror, Shakyamuni, we prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. And then we're going to do the refuge and bodhicitta prayer, and we'll do that first in Tibetan and then in English. Thank you. To the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. To the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. And then we'll do the short mandala offering again on page 19 in Tibetan and English. This ground anointed with perfume and strewn with flowers Mount Meru, the four continents, adorned with sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered thus, may all beings enjoy such pure lands. And then turning over the page, the 7 limb prayer, and we'll do that one in English. I prostrate my 3 dolls with a mind of respect and offer all actually arranged and mentally emanated offerings. I reveal all the downfalls and negativities that I have ever collected and rejoice in the virtues of individuals and superiors. Please remain perfectly abiding until samsara is no longer seen. I request you to turn the vast and profound wheels of Dharma. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. And then we'll do the prayer of the lineage gurus in English on page 23. Body born from 1,000,000 magnificent excellent virtues, speech fulfilling the hopes of infinite beings, a mind that sees all objects of knowledge precisely, I bow my head to the chief among the Shakyas, supreme son of the incomparable teacher, carrying the load of all the conqueror's deeds, by their emanations appearing in countless realms, I prostrate to Maitreya and Manchushri. The mother of conquerors is difficult to fathom. The precise thought is in the commentaries written by John de Victor's ornaments, Nagarjuna and Asanga. I prostrate at the feet of those most renowned in the 3 realms. From these 2 great chariots come the excellent lineages of the paths of profound view and vast deeds. Their essential points gathered thoroughly and without fault. Prostrations to the lamp holding this treasury of instruction. Giving explanation through compassion by seeing precisely and completely the essential points of all paths of Sutra and Tantra, holder of the conqueror's entire holy Dharma, prostrations to the glorious Losang Drakpa. I, seeing all the infinite teachings, supreme way of crossing for those entering the journey to liberation, moved by compassion to deeds skilled in method, prostrations to the spiritual masters who make everything clear. And then on page 27, we'll do the Great Treasury of Excellence in English. This is the prayer of the path to enlightenment. The kind master is the basis of all qualities, and proper reliance is the root of the path. By seeing this excellence and through much striving, bestow blessings to be devoted with great respect. This gentle support of freedom, obtained this one time, is most difficult to achieve. Knowing its great value gives rise to a mind seizing its essence constantly day and night. Bestow blessings to generate this continuum unceasingly. It is like a bubble in water, this constantly moving body and life. Thus remember the swift collapse of death. Beyond death, like body and shadow, white and black karmic results follow after. By gaining firm certainty in this, the mass of faults, subtle and very subtle, are abandoned, and the accomplishment of all virtuous collections completed. Bestow blessings to ever conscientiousness. The qualities of samsara are unfit to be trusted, the door to all suffering. Do not be content with these enjoyments. By knowing its defects, bestow blessings to develop a great aspiration for the bliss of liberation. By that pure thought, great conscientiousness is drawn forth, and mindfulness and awareness of the individual relation, the root of the teachings. Bestow blessings to make this the essential practice. Just as I myself have fallen into samsara's ocean, all living beings as mother are also like that. By seeing the responsibility for the liberation of beings, bestow blessings to be trained in supreme bodhicitta. However, by merely generating the mind, if not acquainted with the 3 aspects of ethics, enlightenment will not be attained. By seeing this excellence, bestow blessings to train with strong effort in the vows of the conqueror's sons. Pacifying distraction before objects by way of proper analysis of the perfect meaning. Bestow blessings to swiftly and continuously generate the path related to the union of calm abiding and special insight. Thus becoming a vessel trained in the common paths, enter the Vajrayana, supreme evolution of all vehicles. Bestow blessings to engage the easy path itself, that sacred way of crossing for fortunate beings. The base of practice for the two aspects of attainment is when guarding the pure vows of commitment is found to be genuine and certain. Bestow blessings to protect them even at risk of life. Then by understanding properly the important points, which are the essence of the two stages of the Tantra classes, bestow blessings to practice according to these holy teachings with continuous effort in supreme four-session yoga. Like that, may the spiritual friend revealing the gentle path and the friends of proper practice stand firm. Bestow blessings to quickly pacify the masses of outer and inner hindrances. In all rebirths, man never be parted from the perfect gurus and the enjoyment of the glorious Dharma. By utterly completing all qualities, paths and grounds, may I quickly achieve the state of Vajradhara. Thank you. Okay, so let's start the teaching part of the session with a breathing meditation. Breathing meditations are a great way to settle ourselves, our bodies, our minds, and in my case also our speech. In breathing meditation, we can leave behind, or at least suspend, the busyness of our day and our lives, all the problems of the past and all the imaginings of the future. Today we'll do a fundamental breathing meditation. We'll start off by getting our bodies into the correct position for meditation. So I'm assuming with this class that people know how to do this. Settle your body, particularly notice how your spine is, your back nice and straight, tilting your head just a little bit forward, not too far or you'll fall asleep. Yeah. Hands in the traditional position, if that's the way you usually meditate. If you're used to doing it another way, please do the way that you are comfortable with. In my own meditation at home, I like to close my eyes at the very end of getting set up to meditate. My body seems to have learnt that over the years that as I close my eyes gently, that's an indication to my body and mind that my meditation is starting. So if you gently close your eyes, sort of like your eyelashes brushing your cheeks, it's a lovely movement. Or if you like, of course, half close your eyes and relax comfortably that way. First, let us expand our minds to awareness of our bodies and get them ready to meditate. Take your mind to the top of your head, then gently scan down your body for any tension. Starting at the crown, coming down, your head, your face, neck, shoulders. Particularly watch those people store tension in their shoulders and the bottom part of their necks. Arms, hands, body, legs, knees, coming down, ankles, feet and toes. Pausing there and checking Is your body relaxed and comfortable? Not so comfortable that you will fall asleep, but ready to focus on meditation. If you need to move just a little bit to be able to settle, please do, but try not to disturb yourself. Nicely settled, aware but calm. Now bring your mind in again. Take your focus back down to your toes. Then gently scan back up. Toes, feet, ankles, coming up, knees, legs, stomach area, all relaxed. Then up to the level of your heart, the center of your chest. Pause. Sit quietly and gently, concentrating at your mind, that area around the center of your chest. Now expand the focus of your concentration back to your whole body, quietly, stillly, if that's a word. Nothing to do, just observe, observing your body. Now gently slide your concentration across from awareness of your body to awareness of your breathing. Breathing naturally and without forcing anything. Just observe the sensation of each breath. Observe it wherever it is comfortable for you. Just inside the tip of your nose, or perhaps the rise and fall of your chest. Gently rest your mind as you become aware of your breath as it goes in and out. Breathing in and breathing out. Staying focused, the in and out of your breath. Let go of all distractions and agitations. Let go of thoughts and memories of the past, plans and imaginings of the future. Put everything on hold. They are no use for you now. Focus purely on the sensation of the breath, the breathing in, the turning point, and the breathing out, the rising and the falling. Now become aware of your mind. How is your mind now? Is it more settled than when you started the class today? How does your mind feel when you dwell in this peace and calm? Gently pull your mind back if it wanders off. Is your mind clearer, less cluttered? What's it like to be in this space? Breathing in and breathing out, keeping our focus, training our minds to stabilize on this tranquility and peace. Sit quietly and enjoy this awareness. Then when you are ready, gently finish the meditation and open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. I've experienced many times, but it still fascinates me how when there's a beautiful group meditation going on in this marvelous temple, the whole atmosphere changes, the air, the stillness, the peace. It's really beautiful to be here, so thank you very much. It's customary to start any course, Buddhist or otherwise, by giving an outline of what is to be covered, the beginning and the end point, and what's going to be covered in the middle. When I sat down to write what I wanted to say about this course, I found I didn't have an answer. I knew that I was teaching for 6 sessions, following on from Venerable Anna's teachings. And I know that I'll hand over to Martin to continue the path to enlightenment and teachings after my 6 sessions. But in between, I wasn't sure. Buddhism is fascinating and very curious. There are so many questions, so many perspectives. Also, it seems that no matter what the question, there are always multiple answers, sometimes apparently contradictory. Of course, we know Buddhist teachings are never contradictory, but all Buddhist teachings are consistent. But as a mere beginners, it can be very hard to understand the connections. All this can be quite challenging as we embark on the Buddhist path. It is definitely so in my case. But as we travel further on our Buddhist journey and gradually let go of needing to control, I am told that a beautiful landscape of wonder, wisdom, of guidance and support is revealed. And how wonderful that will be. So the path to enlightenment is just that, the path, and the path, a life path for this life, our previous lives, and all our lives into the future until we reach our goal. It is the path that will take us to enlightenment, Buddhahood, and how marvellous is that. However, it seems to me that for all us just beginning this path to enlightenment, we start off with basically no idea about what we are doing here, where we are going, or what is going on, speaking for myself at least. Gradually, as we study and apply the marvellous words of Buddha, we take the tentative initial steps on our journey. Of course, our progress is staggering, sometimes coming to a complete halt for a time, as worldly activities intervene. Work, family, kids, buying a house, socialising with friends, looking after parents, travel, well in pre-COVID days anyway, paying the mortgage, looking after the grandkids, keeping the super topped up, etc. Even if we manage to make any progress along the path, it is often a pretty rocky ride. But not only is our progress staggered and staggering, my meagre experience is that we blunder along this path in a circular fashion. We make a bit of progress, regress with another, oh no, I've done it again, go forward once more, then do another crash and burn. So many skinned knees from falling. So many worn out shoes. In this life and through countless previous lifetimes. It also seems to me that the Buddhist path isn't the singular path to enlightenment, but the paths, plural, to enlightenment. It is quite fascinating and indeed entertaining to chat with fellow students about how we actually all got to be here, learning about Buddhism, adopting the Buddhist path as our life challenge, finding a guru, being part of the Tibetan Buddhist Society, and so on. We all have different stories that evolve at different speeds, with many different roads. But there is a commonality in our confusion and our frustration and sadness with how we live our lives now. We all realise that without some wonderful input to help us change things, our futures are looking pretty disheartening too, and with a lack of direction or improvement. We are all looking for a way to improve our lives. We want definite greater happiness. We want to live more ethically, and we know we need greater wisdom to be able to do that. It could also be said that the scenery of this path to enlightenment is unique to each of us. It is created by our behaviour in this world and karmically carried through from past lives. For some, it may be the challenge of finding a respite in this overloaded world of work and family. For others, it may be to somehow reconcile with previous awful things that we have said and done. We may be looking for a way to create some happiness in our lives, or rid ourselves of the fears and anxieties of our destructive life narratives. The questions are, how can glorious Shakyamuni Buddha help us? What can Dharma, the teachings of glorious Shakyamuni Buddha, offer us at this time, in this quagmire of our existence? How can Dharma help us to make changes in our actions of body and speech, and particularly help us to make changes in our minds? Who can we trust? What will support us in this? I'd like to tell you one of the Jataka, I can never say that word, Jataka tales, one of the many stories about the previous human and non-human lives of Shakyamuni Buddha. This tale is called The Four Friends, and Venerable Manikam is going to put up an illustration of this story for us. I hope you can see that. I think it's a great illustration. It was done by Lama Zopa Rinpoche of FPMT and Chenrezig Institute in Queensland. He was instrumental in bringing Geshe to Australia. So what gratitude do we owe him? Here is an account of the Four Friends story. There's many accounts, but I like this one. At first there was just the bird and the tree. At first there was just the bird and the tree was just a little sprout. The bird could scratch around on the ground and find little bits of plant to eat. The bird was unable to fly, so the bird could only eat what it could find near the ground. As the tree grew, it became difficult for the bird to get enough food to eat. Then the rabbit came. The rabbit would eat what was on the ground, and would lift the bird up on his back so that the bird could reach the growing tree. In this way, they both had enough to eat. However, as the tree continued to grow, it started to become too high, even too high for the bird, even on the back of the rabbit. Then the monkey came. The monkey could climb up into the tree and drop the fruit from the tree onto the ground for the rabbit and the bird. However, it was difficult to get the fruit at the very top of the tree. Then the elephant came. With the elephant, if all the animals helped each other, they could reach the fruit at the top of the tree, and in this way there was plenty for them all to eat. There is a reason why the four animals worked so harmoniously together and were so successful. None of them thought only of themselves and only getting enough food for themselves. All of them were concerned about others and trying to help them get whatever they needed. Rather than being dominated by selfish concern, they were inspired by cherishing others. The other reason they were successful is that they were willing to ask for and receive help. Because the bird was willing to ask for help, and because the others were happy to help the bird, everything worked out very nicely. So this story can be understood as a story of interdependence. It is a story explaining how there is no place for self-cherishing, but rather that we all need each other, and we all need to help each other. Sazeb Tulku Rinpoche explained this four friends story further, putting it into the context of seniority and respect. Rinpoche said, "This story is about order, age, respect for seniors. The bird is the oldest one, sitting on the very top. He's the first who planted the seed of the tree. Seniority, even though he is the smallest. The monkey and rabbit arrived, and then finally the elephant came. He is the biggest one. He is also the youngest one. It is a story of seniority and harmony and relationship, human relationship." What an intriguing tale. Initially apparently quite simple, but as with many Buddhist stories and teachings, it has great depth of meaning and instruction. In her teachings over the last 6 sessions, Venerable Anna introduced us to the first sections of Geshe-la's book, the Introduction and Part 1, Preliminary Teachings of the Path to Enlightenment. Venerable Anna discussed happiness and why we all need it in our lives, and I say bring it on. She also told us about discovering the potential of enlightenment and the benefit of the graduated path to lead us there, and the importance of our minds and the need for Dharma in our lives. Her teachings were strengthened by meditation each week and illustrated by the inspiring stories of others who have embarked upon the path and achieved enlightenment. Then in the last session, Venerable Anna introduced us to Part 2 of the text, How to Rely on a Guru. Coming back to my initial comments today and my struggle to decide what to teach, to my delight I discovered a natural grouping in the next 4 topics of Geshe-la's text. The 4 topics are Guru Yoga, your personal acceptance of a Dharma teacher; meditation, the method by which we instill Buddha's wisdom into our minds; leisure and fortune, the incredibly opportune conditions we have in this life and country that enable us to be in a position to undertake the path. And the fourth one, death and impermanence, a thought-provoking reminder to make the most of this opportunity while it is available to us. As I had mentioned earlier, this path to enlightenment is a very challenging journey. We heard Venerable Anna talk about the wisdom of listening, thinking, and meditating, the foundation skill needed to learn about Buddha's teachings, so necessary to comprehend the path. But we also really need something to keep us motivated, to keep us going on this journey. It is so easy to head off with great enthusiasm, but then gradually to fade out as time passes, or other aspects of life intervene and take over our time, or we think we can't understand the teachings and give up in failure. Of course, our lives, families, work and so on are very important indeed. They all need attention and time. They are crucial to our daily lives. But you know, we should never forget that Buddha, Atisha, just wondering where they are, Milarepa, Lama Tsongkhapa, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, Geshe, all these enlightened beings started in the same place that we are at now. We all start off as mere sentient beings floundering around in the samsara of our own making, but our potential is enormous. What we need is some friends to take us, good friends to accompany us on this journey. Loyal, trustworthy, dependable friends who will guide and support us and encourage us, but who also will challenge us when we wander off or get bogged down in delusions. Friends who will tell it as it is. So, let me introduce you to what I'm calling the 4 friends of our Buddhist journey. These are different from the 4 friends of the Jataka tale that I told you earlier. However, each group of the 4 friends has an important message for our Buddhist practice, especially of care and respect for others and how we live our lives. The 4 friends for our Buddhist journey are Guru Yoga, meditation, leisure and fortune, and death and impermanence. And what wonderful, reliable friends they are. The Guru or teacher accompanies us on our journey, instructing us about the path and showing us the way. Meditation is essential for us to be able to deeply understand the Buddha's teachings. Leisure and fortune help us appreciate just what an opportunity we have in this life. And death and impermanence never lets us forget that all this good fortune will end. They are the supreme motivators to get us going. These 4 friends give us the impetus to undertake this journey. They instruct us in the teachings and motivate us to embrace this marvellous opportunity of our ripening karma. And, just as with the 4 friends of the Jataka tales, they teach us how to receive help along the way. So, the first of our 4 friends for the journey to enlightenment is the Guru and Guru Yoga. A Guru is our guide, a reliable friend for the journey. She or he has always got our back, to use our common vernacular. Whether we identify the Guru as our own marvellous teacher, or more deeply as the embodiment of Shakyamuni Buddha, either way, this is such a precious friendship, relationship to support our journey. Thinking about the relationship of guru and student, I was intrigued by Barack Obama's tribute to Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth's husband of more than 70 years. Obama said, "True partnership has room for both ambition and selflessness, all in the service of something greater." How interesting that is. In many ways, this comment describes the guru-student relationship, in which, as students, we ambitiously strive for the ultimate goal of enlightenment. But we concurrently acknowledge that this goal can only be possible when we truly live in selflessness, in respect of our guru. It is only through the kindness of our guru that we can come to understand the complementary nature of these aspirations. Venerable Anna introduced us to Geshe-la's explanation of the qualities of the student that are so necessary to have this wonderful friend. How we need to be honest, to have discriminating wisdom about the teachings, to make effort in our practice, have respect for the teacher and the teachings, and listen attentively with concentration and mindfulness. When we have listened, we need to use thorough thinking to understand what is being taught, and then we need to stabilize our understanding with meditation. Geshe told us that if we don't yet have these qualities, this fortunate life of ours provides a wonderful opportunity to cultivate the potential that we have for these qualities to develop, and for us to have guru relationship in the future lives. The other half of the guru-student relationship is the guru or teacher. Geshe-la described 10 qualities of a reliable guru, which is on page 95 in here if you want to look it up. He continued that if it's not possible to find a guru with all these qualities, we should look for a guru who has at least 5 of the qualities: ethics, concentration, wisdom, the wisdom that perceives emptiness, and compassion. Or if needs must, we look for a guru who has the 3 minimum qualities, where they have more, and these 3 minimum qualities are, where the guru has more qualities than faults. He or she has more concern for others than themselves, and the guru is more interested in future lives than this life. Excuse me, please. Pardon me. It saddens me that the golden age of Tibetan Buddhism and the availability of many realised gurus is probably coming to an end. But gurus need not be in human form. As Geshe-la told his students about his own passing, this Path to Enlightenment text and all his other marvellous books will remain as his representative. They can become our guru, our teacher, the entity on which we can rely. Other people may have found their guru even though they may never have met that person or had personal contact. An example of this is His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. There are many people around the world who would consider His Holiness to be their guru. At best, most of them will only see His Holiness via online teachings, and yet from the student's side, an invincible heart connection exists for so many people, regardless of any direct exposure. Such is the splendour of this awe-inspiring being. The Guru Yoga friendship is based in faith. Initially, our faith could be called blind faith, where we have devotion towards our guru without having substantiating knowledge or understanding. This type of faith is very easily weakened and damaged. As we learn and practice more, we develop faith based in the three wisdoms of listening, thinking, and meditating. This faith is much more resilient to challenge. Venerable Thubten explained that faith makes our minds more soft and receptive. She said, "This faith facilitates wisdom so that we're better able to hear. Then after we hear, we think about it and gain some understanding. Of course, when we gain some understanding through looking at it with wisdom, then our sense of confidence in our guru, the Dharma accept, increases because we have looked with wisdom. So from a Buddhist perspective, faith and wisdom are not contradictory. They mutually enhance each other." I'd like to clarify that in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, guru isn't a god, a saviour, as they may be portrayed in some other religious perspectives. Gurus cannot choose to save us. They certainly would if they could, but it is not like that. Our gurus can provide us with the most marvellous example, teachings and advice. It is through our own study and practice that we realise these teachings and make progress along the path. As it is said in the sutras, the Buddhas cannot wash away sins with water. They cannot remove sentient beings' suffering by hand. Their realisations cannot be transferred to others. Only by showing the truth of suchness can they be released. In some ways, it takes great courage to have a guru. In this powerful, speedy world, to take on, have confidence in, submit to a guru can be very challenging indeed. It is such a different perspective from the me world in which we live. Some people prefer to travel their Buddhist path without a guru. This is entirely their choice and decision, of course, and should always be respected. And indeed, if we do choose the guru path, we should proceed with caution. Don't be naive. The events that come to light in the hallowed halls of our federal parliament, every day we hear another case of someone abusing their position of power and control. Just like all other groups, workplaces and religious organisations, Buddhism is not immune from bad behaviour, and there have been those who have abused the privileged position of teacher and guru. With his wonderful gift of making Buddhism accessible, Geshe from our centre in Perth says that the first question you should ask yourself when searching for a guru is, do you feel safe? If there is, and Les always continues on, if there is mention of monetary payments or sexual entanglements, then you should run a mile. There are many benefits of relying on a guru and disadvantages in not doing so, as discussed from page 17 onwards in Geshe-la's text. So you may like to read more about that after this class. So talking about the guru and the precious relationship that is, and also that for many of us, we at least try to perceive our guru in the same embodiment as Shakyamuni Buddha. What I'd like to do is do a Shakyamuni Buddha meditation, if that's okay. So we'll use the wonderful tool of meditation to listen, think about, and meditate on the friendship of our Guru and our Guru Yoga and how it can help us along the path, and to bring the preciousness of Shakyamuni Buddha and the Guru into our hearts. So just give me a minute. So people would like to get themselves comfortable and ready to meditate. Comfort, of course, is important, but remember to also keep your back as straight as possible. It enables the flow of energy through your body very nicely, and it also supports your structure. Hands how you would like them to be. When you have your body settled and comfortable, perhaps use that trigger that I use of gently closing your eyes. That indication to your mind and your body that you're going to meditate. Just take a few moments to settle yourself by gently noticing the rhythm of your breathing, the natural breathing in and the breathing out. As you feel yourself settled, you might start to notice the turning point in your breathing. We breathe in, then it turns and we breathe out. Then it turns and we breathe in again. A beautiful circular motion. Checking your body for tension. Move slightly if you need to. Try not to disturb your concentration. As we start the actual Shakyamuni Buddha visualization, if you have a guru, you can imagine that she or he is the embodiment of Shakyamuni Buddha. If not, it's perfectly fine, of course, to visualize Shakyamuni Buddha himself. Taking our time step by step, it may be helpful to make your Shakyamuni Buddha visualization a size you are comfortable with, somewhere between tiny and life size, or perhaps a little bigger. Do your best and imagine as many details as you can without trying too hard. It is better to have a less complete visualization and hold that steadily, than to force your visualization. If you can't get all the details, just imagine the basic form and some colour. Doing that much is a very good start. And remember to keep that small part of your mind aside to note what you were doing, to keep you focused, to keep you on track. So, as we begin, imagine in space in front, at the level of your forehead, about 1.5 meters away, not too high and not too low. From emptiness appears a precious throne in the nature of light. The throne is supported by 8 mighty snow lions. two on each side of the throne. In aspect, it is a precious throne. In nature, it is Shakyamuni Buddha's wisdom truth body. On top of the throne, from emptiness arises a light-natured lotus flower with petals of various colours, symbolising renunciation. On top of this, in the nature of light, arises a moon cushion, symbolising bodhicitta. The wish to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. On top of the moon cushion arises a sun cushion in the nature of light. Symbolising the realisation of wisdom. On top of these three cushions, from emptiness arises our kind root guru, taking the aspect of Shakyamuni Buddha, or if you prefer, arises Shakyamuni Buddha. His body is golden in colour, in the nature of light, just like a rainbow is. His body, composed of light, is clear and translucent. Shakyamuni Buddha is a monk wearing the three Dharma robes, symbolising his pure ethics. And he has 32 major marks and the 80 minor signs of a perfectly enlightened being. Just checking your concentration. Keep strongly focused. If you lose the visualization, no problem. Just build it up again from the bottom. All in the nature of light. The throne, lotus flower of various colours, on top of which is a moon cushion, on top of which is a sun cushion. On top of these three cushions is Shakyamuni Buddha. His body is golden coloured, clear and translucent, and he is wearing the robes of a monk, a perfectly enlightened being. Shakyamuni Buddha has one face and two arms. His one face symbolises that Shakyamuni Buddha perceives the one nature of all phenomena, their emptiness of inherent existence. His right hand rests on his right knee in the earth-touching gesture, which symbolises Shakyamuni Buddha's power to stop all negativities, especially the suffering of the three realms. His left hand rests in his lap in the gesture of concentration and holds a begging bowl of nectar, the nectar which destroys all delusions and especially all disease. At Shakyamuni Buddha's heart, imagine a blue syllable hum, H-U-M. It is surrounded by Shakyamuni Buddha mantra, Om Muni Muni Maha Muni E Soha. Shakyamuni Buddha sits in the cross-legged position and emanates countless rays of light in all directions. Now really enjoy this next part of the meditation with your heart. When you imagine Lord Shakyamuni Buddha, you should feel that it is the real Buddha who is before you. See him smiling with a blissful appearance and radiating incredible light in all directions. This isn't a statue or a picture. This is the real Buddha. His omniscient mind is filled with love and compassion, and as he gazes upon you, he directs his love and compassion strongly towards you. You can feel his love and compassion for you. So precious and so peaceful. Now, to finish the meditation in a most beautiful way, bring Shakyamuni Buddha, however you are imagining him, to sit just above the crown of your head. He is facing the same way you are. Shrink Lord Buddha down to a very small size. Shrink him down to the size of your thumbnail, about that size. Let him come down through the crown of your head into your body, right down to your heart. Shakyamuni Buddha is resting in your heart. See him sitting there clearly, facing the same way as you, seated in your heart. Shakyamuni Buddha is always with you. His love and compassion for you and for all sentient beings is always with you. So precious, so peaceful. Sit quietly with this knowing and enjoy Shakyamuni Buddha's presence in your heart. As we finish the meditation, enjoy the peace of the temple for a moment and let your mind treasure this knowing. Today we have set out on our path to enlightenment journey with 4 precious friends. We have met the first of our friends, the Guru and Guru Yoga. Next session we'll meet meditation and invite this friend to accompany us on our journey. As we finish this class, with your permission, I'd like to dedicate the merit we have accumulated to all those to all those who continue to be ravaged by COVID-19, those in India, Bangladesh, Brazil, and so many countries. And as our formal dedication, I'd like to quote something that comes from one of the sadhanas. It says, "By the force of making offerings and requests to you," Shakyamuni Buddha is assumed, "by the force of making offerings and requests to you, Shakyamuni Buddha, please pacify the diseases, poverty, war and quarrels in places where myself and others live, and increase the Dharma and auspiciousness. And also, through our efforts today, may we quickly achieve enlightenment for the benefit of every sentient being." So Anna, could you help me with the final prayers, please? So we're going to do the final prayers of the graduated path. This is the first one on page 31 of your prayer book. Page 31, final prayer of the graduated path. By the 2 collections, vastest space, amassed with effort for a long time, may I become a chief of conquerors, a guide for all beings whose mind's eye is blinded by ignorance. Also in all lives, while not yet come to that, may Manchushri favour me with his compassion, finding the supreme path, complete with all the stages of the teachings. May I please the conquerors by practicing well. By my precise understanding of the essential points of the path, with skillful means drawn along by strong compassion, and by dispelling the mental darkness of beings, may I uphold the conqueror's teaching for a long time. Where the supreme precious teaching has not spread, also where it has spread but become degenerate, with a mind deeply moved by great compassion, may I make clear this treasure of benefit and bliss. The stages of the path, excellently established by the marvellous deeds of the conquerors and their sons and daughters, give all may the conquerors' deeds be long preserved. May all humans and non-humans who remove the obstructions and establish conditions favourable to cultivating the excellent path never be parted for all of their lifetimes from the purest of paths which the Buddhas have praised. When someone makes effort to practice properly the 10 points of conduct of the Supreme Vehicle, may they always be assisted by the mighty protectors, and may oceans of good fortune spread out, reaching all. And then, the special dedication on page 34. We might do this one in English, if that's okay. Yep. Whatever white virtues we have thus created, we dedicate as causes, enabling us to uphold the holy Dharma of scripture and realisation, and to fulfil without exception the prayers and deeds of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times. By the power of this merit, in all our lives, may we never be parted from the perfect, and may we complete the journey on the paths of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure view, and the 2 stages, and then the general dedication in Tibetan and then English. By this virtue may all beings complete the collections of wisdom and merit and attain the 2 holy bodies arisen from wisdom and merit. May the precious superior mind of enlightenment be generated in those who have not yet generated, and not decrease in those who have developed it, but increase continuously. Thank you everybody for attending, and thank you Manikam for steering the ship the right way again. Truly amazing. There'll be no session next week because it's Mother's Day. So the next Path to Enlightenment class is 4 p.m. on Sunday, the 15th of May. So are there any questions or comments today, please, dear people? Good. Okay, thank you everyone. Please join me if you have time for tea and coffee, etc. out in, maybe outside or in the dining room. I'm not sure what we're doing this time, but if you can join us, that would be very nice.